do you take us through the decision to send Yordano down?
Well, one, he had options. You know, getting a little bit log jam, knowing that Vargy was going to have to come back. Probably the biggest consideration was we had to use Medlin last night, and that left us without a long guy. So that, you know, with Joe Blanton here tonight, we're completely covered, and you know, it's not going to hurt him to go down and again get some consistent starts under his belt, have some success, and you know, be ready to come back and help us win.
How'd he take the news?
He was fine. He understood.
Should he view it as, look, I understand the roster crunch, but as any sort of maybe kick in the backside to pick it up moving forward? No?
What can he or should he work on while he's down here?
Really, his stuff's really good. It's just, again, like we talked about, just staying within yourself. At times, he flies off the ball trying to do too much with it, which leaves it running back arm side, which most of the time means that part of the play. Last year, when he'd get runners in scoring position, he was one of the toughest guys in all of baseball. You know, he'd really bear down in those situations, stay within himself, and you know, pitch with outstanding stuff. You know, it's gotten away from him a little bit. He tries to do a little bit more than he's capable of doing. And once he understands, or gets the feel, not understanding, because he does understand. Once he gets the feeling of staying within himself and just letting his good stuff work for him and locating it, he's going to be back to where he was last year.
Is that an easy remedy, or is that a lot?
Yeah, I mean, you got to go back down and have some success. You know, a lot of times it's good for players, you know, to take a step back so that they can take 3 or 4 steps forward. You know, it happened to Kelvin Herrera 2 years ago. Kel came in and set the world on fire his first full year in the big leagues, and then the second year he went out and, like in a period of a week, he gave up 4 home runs, right? And then all of a sudden he's trying to do too much, and that never works. And they had a rough month. We sent him to Triple-A for a month, and he came back. He's been an all-star ever since. It happened to Eddie Volquez. You know, they sent Eddie all the way down to A-ball and told him to work his way back up, and he did. And next year we won 17 games. And it happened to, you know, Roy Halladay, same thing. They sent him down. You know, after struggling, it was a big touted prospect, and then sent him back down. The next year he won the Cy Young. So, you know, a lot of times it's good to go down, take a step back so you can take 3 or 4 when you get back.
Is there an ideal timetable, or are you just going to see how it goes?
I mean, everything changes from day to day. We're just going to have to go and see how it goes.
You said yesterday after the game that you didn't use HDH or anybody else because they needed those extra days, long-term benefit towards September and maybe further. How much is this move also akin to that?
All of it. The move is all of it, because I'm not using those guys, especially in a scenario like last night. But in order for us to be successful, you got to pick your spots when you're going to use those guys. And generally, it's going to be in games where we're tied or ahead, or if they have enough rest in a game when we're down 1. You know, last night wasn't one of those nights, you know. So, you know, if we did not make this move, and we didn't have a long guy today, we would be forced to use those guys in situations if we're behind, and it's not anything we want to do.
Yeah, and I know you talk about him as far as where his pitches are ending up on. How much is a little bit for him frustration factor for him?
Well, probably some. You know, I mean, you know, he takes a lot of pride in his game, and you know, he knows what he's capable of doing, and you know, he feels like you know, he's with his performance a little bit, he's letting everybody down. You know, which is not the case. Everybody, you know, believes in him 100%, and everybody still knows that, you know, if we make it back to the World Series, he's going to be a big reason why. So, again, just going down and having some success for a week or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever it may be, is going to help him in the long run.